Yo, 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 yo. We're back. I know it took us a while. We was doing some other streams though. Can't discredit that. Anyways, let's get right into it.
USA is arguably the most popular fast food ever. After trying darn near all of them, I've been led to an important question I have to get out into the world to answer. Which fast food fried chicken is the best in America? You, the audience, voted for the best restaurant and their best item. Tallying the thousands of votes, we have the ultimate list of fast food restaurants that serve fried chicken. These restaurants are gonna go head to head with their best item, but everything counts. Nuggets, tenders, sandwiches. If it's fried chicken, it's in the ring to win the ultimate crown. We're starting this journey off at McDonald's. You guys know how I feel about this place. Everyone voted for the McCrispy because we've never had it. This is actually the very first time I'm trying this item. Could it be a winner right out the gate? Cheers.
Texture, it looked crispy, but it gave a lot of sogginess to it. Flavor, I enjoyed the flavor. It was seasoned, it was balanced. I'll give them that. Good job, McDonald's.
Texture, the chicken wasn't as dry as I thought it would be. It had that like brined chew to it, but it wasn't dry. It's like 75% pickle flavor. Flavor was all right. It tastes like a Chick-fil-A sandwich. There was absolutely no crunch whatsoever.
It's one of the more seasoned McDonald's items I've had.
I'm just still eating. Mine's kind of dry, but I like the taste.
What?
Is that where we're ending with that? So we have a new rating system. We're gonna be rating all these out of 10, and then we will reveal our scores to each other to see where this lands.
I'm scared to show mine. I feel like I'll be judged.
So here's the thing, like obviously Christian and I have a chef perspective. You're the most important person here because you are the voice, the mind, the man of the people. 2, 3.
A 6.2, 6.8, and a 5.
We're on the same page. I liked it.
We're looking for the greatest fast food fried chicken dish in the entire world. And if we're gonna do that and we're putting this on that scale, my thought is like, well, the best version, an 8 or a 9 or a 9.5 would be thunder crack of crunch, immense amounts of flavor, no dryness, juicy, perfect texture. Then this has to be as middle to the ground as it could be. It's not bad, but it's not that.
The reason why I gave it more than an average is crunch, there was a little bit, but not like enough to be like it's crackling fried chicken. So that dropped it down. It's never gonna be a 7, but the seasoning from McDonald's without a sauce was surprising.
I would eat it again.
Moving on.
McDonald's entry for the best fried chicken is on the board, but with a score like that, it's only a matter of time until it's topped.
Whether you know Dylan or not, Dylan also has reviewed food in the past. And you were telling me earlier that you have a goal today.
I want to expand my vocabulary a little bit, because as of right now, I know about 5 words. Yummy, delicious, and other variations of yummy and delicious. So I just need to be able to describe what I'm eating, just like you.
We're gonna get this man to articulate food like no one ever has.
Onward to Bojangles.
Unfortunately, these are all heart-shaped, which is probably one of the worst fucking shapes you could ever put a biscuit in.
They made mine and stepped on it.
Cheers. You guys specifically voted for the biscuit sandwich over the tenders. I will say the chicken is phenomenally crispy. The seasoning on it is unbelievable. The spice level on this is way better.
This doesn't taste spicy to me at all.
I like this chicken seasoned nicely. The salt levels are perfect. The crunch is really nice. I'm really happy with that. It's drier, far drier. And the biscuit is adding nothing. It's subtracting.
I normally like biscuits. I don't like this biscuit.
Without the biscuit, it would have felt moist, but because we're eating it as a whole, it's just
Let's rate. Uno, dos, tres.
7.9, 7.6, and 6.9.
7.9, dude?
it was flavorful.
I would say that this would have been really close had it not been for how goddamn dry the inside of it was and how dry the biscuit was. I mean, it was dry on dry. All the flavor you could possibly want is in this thing. No bitter oil, but like the second something's too dry, it just, to me, it drags the experience way down.
If it wasn't as crispy as it was, I would have gave it less than a 7, but it was nice and crispy.
I think because I didn't have that much biscuit, because it was so flat, I tasted more of like just the chicken. It was crunchier.
All right.
I feel like a 7.6 is fair.
He's getting good at this shit.
And just like that, Bojangles takes the top spot over McDonald's. Not difficult. Moving on.
All right, we're at Pollo Campero. This looks good. The skin is kind of flaccid, but the crisp is crispy.
That doesn't look good at all.
I like it.
At the beginning of this video, you had a goal. You said, I want to be able to articulate better about food. This is your moment.
I think this chicken thigh is crunchy. The actual chicken itself is very juicy, very flavorful. I don't taste a bunch of different spices, but I feel like that's just my brain not being able to process all of them. But I feel like the salt levels are good.
Wow.
Look at you guys, descriptive.
Let's go.
But I do taste seasoning. I think this might be the most salted out of everything we've eaten so far. It does have a reminiscence of a little bit of Thanksgiving.
Which, by the way, the Thanksgiving flavor you're thinking of is white people.
Skin is crispy. Even though it's off of the meat, it's still crispy. Chicken is juicy. The chicken itself, not just the skin, is seasoned. Pretty good experience.
Let's just talk about texture first. I actually like the crunch. What I don't like is it's so thin. It's not so much breaded, it's more so like a very thin, papery skin of crunch. And I want like a nice, lustful, deep crunch and there being a clear coating of breading. I'm not saying too much breading, I'm just saying I want the breading to be apparent. This to me feels like it was like dusted with flour and fried, and that to me doesn't feel like fried chicken. That said, it is still crispy and the texture is still nice. Now flavor, to me this tastes like chicken soup powder, which if you ever had is unbelievably delicious. It's like MSG salt and chicken flavoring. There's not a whole lot of like garlic and onion and marjoram and white pepper and this and that. It's just like kind of chicken and salt. But that said, like it's salted pretty much perfectly and it's cooked perfectly. Super juicy, super moist, and it kind of melts in your mouth. So there's lots of good, and there's a few things I would pick apart from it. Shall we rate? 3, 2, 1.
A 7, 9, 8, 1, and an 8.
Wow. I almost went 7, 9.
It needs more seasoning. Salt was great. The chicken was great. It just feels crispier. It would have been an 8 for me.
I feel like I went with mine because, one, I have never heard of this restaurant chain before, so I wasn't expecting the chicken to actually be decent.
Even without the seasoning, the flavor was hitting, and I was happy with it. Even though I wasn't as happy with the crunch was still very apparent. Like a lot of things have one thing and not the other. This had a little bit of both, and had enough of both to earn a strong 8. An underdog, but not a winner. We're gonna find one. Moving on. Wendy's is next with the spicy chicken sandwich. This might be the one menu item that's keeping them afloat, so let's see how they did. Cheers.
It was just a chicken.
So the chicken's dry, and I feel like I'm judging this harsher because Wendy's slogan is quality is our recipe. I don't think the quality on this is good.
I looked at it and I thought I was gonna bite a juicy bite. It was drier than the first bite.
It's nice that this is breast and not like formed patty, but it's not helping them because it's overcooked to dog shit. It's dry as f. There's no crunch whatsoever. The breading on it is the standard Cisco breading, and all I taste is like spicy with no flavor. At least there's salt on it for God's sake, but this is a drag to eat.
The prominent flavors I get out of this is wet tomato with mayo.
I like the bun though, the bun's nice. We're gonna rate now. 3, 2, 1.
2.3, a 4, and a 2.
Wow, 4, that's, here he goes again.
this
What?
guy's
I feel like it's fair. The chicken was dry, but I agree, I like the bread. It's Wendy's, I don't know.
A 4 I might almost go back and eat. And to me, I don't ever wanna go back and eat that. So it has to be below a 4. It's not a 1 because it's not like inedible. There's so many things missing from it and it's such a letdown of experience. I would be mad that I consume those calories. And therefore, it lands at a 2 for me personally.
Moving on.
We are at Jollibee. They have won a few times, I will say. So the question is, are they the #1 fast food fried chicken in America? We have 2 different options here that were voted for. The spicy chicken sandwich and the spicy chicken joy. We're gonna try both of them. Whichever one we prefer will get entered in the competition. So let's begin with the spicy sandwich. Spicy jalapenos. It's creamed on both sides. Fried chicken, spicy, soft bun. Let's taste, boys.
Yeah, I'm back. But only because you have not downloaded Pi Adblock. Still.
That just all over McDonald's.
Can I change my McDonald's score?
No, you can't! Here's the Chicken Joy. It's just bone-in fried chicken. The question is that gonna beat out the chicken sandwich?
It's black, right?
Because a bunch of it was coming off at first, I didn't think it'd still be crunchy, but it still got a good crunch.
I didn't even take the flag out.
Only red flag allowed in my life.
Jesus Christ, Christian, you all right, buddy? Even though the skin was kind of falling off, still insanely crispy. The flavor was so chickeny and rich and unctuous. That little bit of MSG taking it a step further. It's not too spicy at all. It's like lightly warm. And then obviously the salt levels were phenomenal, dude.
Those are more words than I know. It's yummy.
Chicken good.
Chicken good. I've had it before, but I haven't had this. But I'm getting this next time I go to Jollibee.
It's that first bite, just rewind it, just slow-mo my reaction, because that was a true, honest reaction of biting a fresh, hot, steamy, juicy, crispy fried chicken. Life-changing? Maybe. I've had it before, but something about today, it was nice. Texture, wispy. Did fall apart a little bit. Not too much fried chicken out there that falls off the bone, but that was doing it for me.
This is tough, dude, but we're gonna have to rate. And we're rating the Chicken Joy, just to be clear, if that wasn't apparent what we like. Damn, dude, I don't wanna go too crazy, but.
I'm definitely going crazy.
3, 2, 1.
An 8, 8, 8, 9, and a 9.3.
Is mine too high?
Ooh! Wow, dude.
I like it.
I didn't put this into the category of 9s because I was being nitpicky, you know? It's like the only thing that would have brought it to a 9 for me would have been a little bit more breading. The breading was a touch light. It was a nice crunch, but what I noticed is a lot of it was bundled breading in certain areas that had crunch, and then there were other areas that were flaccid and light on the breading.
What would have given it a 9 or above is if it held together better. I do like a good fall off the bone, but it was a little messier. I don't mind mess, but it was almost near perfect.
Yeah, I would agree. It's on the edge.
I feel like if it had all of that, I would have given it a 10, and then we would have been done.
But we're not done. We're moving on.
We have a clear leader separating from the pack. Jollibee has won before. We've never compared Jollibee to all the major fried chickens in America. And I hate to say it, but there's a strong chance that they lose their crown today. Only one way to find out.
We're at Burger King with chicken fries. Let's just get this over with. You know what they are. Cheers.
They had me thinking.
3, 2, 1.
0.9, 2.2, and 3.
How'd you give the highest score?
Let me express myself. I'm trying not to be dramatic this time. My first thought was a 1, but I'm also trying to be predictive here because I don't know how much worse it's gonna get. Eating the chicken fry, the salt levels are good, it doesn't taste bad. The only demarcation on flavor that I have is that the bitter ass oil that totally ruins it. So first it starts at like maybe like a 4, and then the bitterness brings it down to like a 1 or a 2.
That tastes like string cheese. Like not in like a good way. I didn't like it.
You're right, this should be a 2.
The chicken finger I had didn't have seasoning or salt. All I tasted was bitter and crumbs.
Okay, so there you go. There's inconsistency in the product. Mine was seasoned and salted fine, but there was no
Why you
crunch.
just put
Texture was
one?
terrible, no juiciness. It wasn't super dry, but it was also just like sponge
What,
chicken,
0.9?
which was very odd. And then there's the bitter ass oil. So, you know, I give it a 2.
That might be the worst thing I put in my mouth in the last 2 months. It's less than a 1, 0.9.
A 1 for me is it tastes good, but it's not cooked, so it might give me food poisoning. This was at least edible, which is why I gave it a 2.
Honestly, that's probably the best description. Moving on. We are at Dave's Hot Chicken. We're at Drake's place. This doesn't look like it has much breading. It looks like flaccid.
This looks like it's been run over.
Here we go, cheers.
That tastes better than I thought it would, but it's not crunchy.
Probably some of the worst hot chicken I've ever had.
For hot, I was expecting hotter.
It's more heat than it is like flavor.
But it's not really that spicy. Like spiciness in terms of like heat, I would give it like a 5 out of 10. Like it's spicy, but it's not knocking my socks off. This is the least seasoned and least salted chicken we've had all day. It is one of the least crispy. It is not dry, which I appreciate. It's actually quite juicy.
I feel like a lot of the others left like a nice aftertaste. It's just like heat.
I will say it does linger, which is expected.
Let's rate. Ready, 3, 2, 1.
A 3-1, 4-3, and a
6. Even Dylan went under 5.
I'd rather go back to McDonald's.
See, I don't know if it was my piece. You guys spoke that it was under seasoned. Yes, needs salt, but mine was very flavorful.
Mine was not.
I had sweetness, I had smokiness. For a chicken tender, I think it was slightly above mid, hence the 6.
All I tasted was paprika and cayenne. I didn't taste any garlickiness, any onioniness.
I did, and I had like a little sugary to my, like brown sugar.
I got some sugar.
Mine's just based on me wanting to go back, and I don't really want to come back here.
Ready? I'm just gonna stand tall. Because it doesn't have sauce, it's mid.
5.0. Moving on.
Dave's mid chicken, unfortunately, not quite hitting like we thought it would. But we're moving on to one of the most hyped up contenders of all time.
We're at Raising Cane's, unfortunately. They're calling this a chicken tender.
No sauce,
had
right?
cane
Unfortunately, no sauce.
Okay.
Cheers.
Okay, it's trash.
Hey, Spotter Studio helped me take
gotta
control
have the
over my
sauce.
YouTube channel. In order for me to get excited about an idea, I have to
That tastes like nothing.
This really is for white people. The best part of this was actually surprisingly for the first time the texture. The crunch was pretty good. Unfortunately, there was absolutely no flavor and no salt whatsoever.
You need cane sauce.
You see, that's a little horse shit, and this is my theory. I think it has a lot to do with production. It's really hard to maintain consistency because chicken is constantly breaded inconsistently. We've seen that a few times in some of the places we've gone. But what can be consistently the same across the board no matter what? The sauce. So they intentionally under-season and you have to get the sauce. That's almost like the selling point. You go to Raising Cane's to have the chicken with the sauce. You don't go to Raising Cane's to have the chicken. I guess we'll rate. This is gonna be rough.
I don't know how confident I feel in my rating.
3, 2, 1.
2-3, okay, 3, all right, 3-8, brutal.
Good job, guys. I can't believe I'm the highest one rating it.
I rated it higher than the Burger King just because it's crunchier.
It was just texture that gave it any score, really. So overall, it was steep below mid.
I gave it the highest rating. Here's the thought. Chicken actually wasn't dry and it wasn't chewy, and that usually is a problem with Cane's. And the crunch was present. So the texture I was honestly pretty happy with. I wish there was a bit more breading, but it was so lacking in flavor. If the flavor was there, it might have brought this to maybe a 7. But the lack of the flavor just brings it to a 3.8. Moving on.
Who would have thought to have the best fast food fried chicken in America, you'd actually need good chicken? Moving on to the next.
All right, we are at Carl's Jr. with their fried chicken sandwich. I don't expect this to be good. Let's just eat it.
Oh my God.
You know what? It's actually not bad.
Does the texture on my chicken look right? It looks like the texture of bread.
It's more like a giant nugget than it is like breast meat, which I don't mind, by the way. I like making chicken sandwiches like that myself. Texture, I was surprised. Out of all the nugget-based sandwiches that we've had, this is the crispiest and the crunchiest. The salt level is actually perfect. There is pretty decent flavor in it. I like the mayo and the lettuce. I like the simplicity of it. I wish there were pickles and some acid on this to balance it. But all in all, it's okay. Like, it's actually okay.
Tasting it, it's nostalgic. I'll give it that. That's always a win for me. I'll say it tastes better than it looks.
Yeah.
Texturally, there's more everything than chicken. And I do like the mayo and the lettuce. It's
The board mid. Good for you, Carl's Jr. Surprise, surprise. Move on. All right, we are at Popeyes. Specifically, what was voted for was the bone-in fried chicken, and I get why. This might be one of the best looking pieces of chicken we've had all day. This wing looks crazy.
I want it. I'm a wing guy.
All right. Is this regular or spicy?
Spicy.
This is not spicy.
but it is seasoned.
You know what I find funny? It's like both good and kind of a letdown. It's very oily. You know, honestly, I don't love this. I will say that Popeyes won the chicken nugget video, but it wasn't much of a competition because all the chicken nuggets were extremely shit. Let's rate. Ready, and a 3, and a 2, and a 1.
A 6, 9, 6, 8, and a 5.
Surprisingly low though for what it looked like. To me, it looked like it was gonna be an 8.
I honestly thought it was gonna be up there with Jollibee.
Me too.
Based off of looks and smell.
I didn't think Jollibee's looked as well breaded as this one, although it was. This was missing crunch. It was undersalted by about 50% in my opinion. There was no spiciness to it, no chicken flavor that I was picking up. It was rather flavorless, surprisingly. And
Anyone beat it though. Up next is not my favorite, Chick-fil-A.
I cannot believe I'm saying this. This is the most beautifully breaded and fried Chick-fil-A chicken I've ever seen. I feel like they gotta be watching my videos because every time we go back, the chicken is better. Cheers. Mine's like really fucking spicy. This is good. This is the most spicy of any of the chicken sandwiches by far, and I really like that. I'm not unhappy with it. Pickles are there, bun's nice. I mean, it's a basic chicken sandwich, but it's one of the better Chick-fil-A's I've had.
If you were to have a blind taste on chicken sandwiches, I would have never guessed that was Chick-fil-A.
I've had a lot of Chick-fil-A, and this is good, but I'm still standing on it's like a little too salty.
I kind of agree. I just took another bite, and it's almost too salty, yeah. All right, let's rate. 3, 2, 1.
7, 4, 7, 8, and a 7.
Wow.
I feel like this is pretty close.
One of the better chicken sandwiches I've had from Chick-fil-A. The seasoning was nice, the flavor was nice, the crunch was nice. It wasn't perfect. It was maybe close to an 8, but what brought it down to a 7, it was a little oversalted by about 10 to 15%. We're now at KFC. Herbs and spices, my ass. This is one of the grayest looking fried chickens I've ever seen, but hey, that doesn't mean it doesn't taste good, so let's find out.
Did you know you can increase your revenue with Snapchat ads? Just ask Manscaped.
We have seen a 100.
Stale. Like it's not crunch that I'm biting on, it's staleness.
This tastes exactly like when you order fried chicken and it's meh and you leave it in the fridge overnight and you reheat it in the oven. Flavor is just old chicken. It's really kind of grossing me out. Spicy chicken, cheers. I think I judged a book by its cover. Most of the time I see a sign with a chicken flying through the air, my thought is, oh boy. I went and took a poop in there. The bathrooms were remarkably clean and they were private with a lock on the door. Yeah, and the chicken looks good. Spicy chicken, cheers.
I like the breading a lot, but I don't know if I like the actual chicken. It's kind of spongy.
I'm like confused. I was like, oh, this is good. It's beautifully crispy. And yeah, the chicken's just dry as f.
Initially, great crunch, great flavor on the actual crunch. It is the driest chicken I've had so far.
Okay, if KFC's not winning, I don't think anything's winning. Is this Zaxby's?
And plum, I'm not mad at that. Flavor is interesting because the salt levels are really good, but I'm just not getting a lot of like seasoning. I'm not like getting any black peppercorn, garlic, rosemary.
It needs sauce, but it also doesn't need sauce. Does that make sense? You can dip it in sauces, but you don't need to. I want to, but not as bad as I want to dip Cane's. There's been a couple bites, hopefully you can find it, where I just started squirting. I don't know if it was me or the chicken.
Huh?
The chicken flavor stands out the most, more than anything. Then it's the crust, then it's the salt. That's nice.
I tasted the breading separately, and I also tasted the chicken separately. Both sides are seasoned, so it's not just like one or the other. I think it's a good piece of chicken, and if you're on a diet, you can eat this because, you know, you can't have sauce.
What are you talking about?
Isn't sauce like, doesn't sauce have a lot?
It's deep fried chicken.
Every calorie counts.
Thank you, Dylan. Well, let's rate.
3, 2, 1.
We got a 7, another 7, and an 8.2.
Dude, 7 on 7, baby. We got a kiss.
If you look at mine, it was originally gonna be a
Everything else is like varying degrees of good or bad of the same thing. This is totally different.
See, I can't make Jollibee or this at home. I think I just prefer the flavors from Jollibee more.
You put a spicy chicken joy thigh in front of me or a Long John Silver tender, I'm grabbing that thigh fast.
That's a very good point.
The whole point, I feel like, of this video is who has the best fried chicken option. That has been top tier so far.
That changed my mind. I'm giving it an 8.75. I'm splitting hairs. I'm saying Jollibee is slightly better for that reason. But I still think that this deserves something on the table. This is crazy.
It's an 8. Across the board, above an 8,
Yeah.
it's huge for all of us.
This is a fish place.
This is a fish place. It's literally topping everybody else but Jollibee. Yet again, Jollibee is a winner. I'm not surprised because, you know, they always deliver on quality, freshness, and crispiness. I've been screaming this from the rooftop, and honestly, at this point,
I gotta hit up Long John Silver's. I might have to hit them up tomorrow. I was thinking about hitting up the breakfast place, but nah, they probably gotta be it.